Hey y'all, what's up? So, I was watching a couple of videos not long ago, and somebody had something interesting to say about compost. So that's why I'm at my compost pile. They basically, look at this, y'all. Oh, can y'all see? Wait, don't do that. Look at that. Get in there. Somebody was like, basically, that compost shouldn't be used. It should only be used to top dress with, because your plants can't really grow well. Like the roots of them can't grow well in compost. And I don't want to say people is absolutely asinine, out of their mind, and wrong. But I fear that people spreading information like that will cause people to do one of two things. Either not garden or feel like gardening is intended to be super expensive. Now, this person said that compost, the reason why you don't want it in the root zone is because it turns into concrete. Now, this down here, that's the native soil. You can see how it's pretty much hard. I've told y'all that it's clay, and, it's really kind of sandy clay around here. This is my compost, though. Now, I know a lot of y'all going to say, oh, but that don't look exactly just like dirt. It doesn't look finished. You're right. This is not 100% finished. That's why you can still tell what a lot of this is. You can tell that a lot of it is leaves, pine straw. Now some of the other stuff like plant matter and stuff, let me show y'all what it looks like when it's completely finished. When it's completely finished, it looks like that. And you notice how I can squeeze it real tight and it just goes right back moist. They were like, it compacts to almost like concrete. And I'm like, really? So this is my question. I want to know, what are you composting that it composts down and it's almost like concrete? Or are you buying those bags of compost from the store? Because let me tell y'all this. When you buy that stuff from the store, it's just like anything else in the store. They put compost on that sack, and sometimes it's really not compost. Sometimes it was more sand and a little bit of organic matter, or, it's more something else. My compost is 100% organic matter. It's, like I said, leaves, pine straw. Y'all see that one? So I'm calling this 70% finished, right? That's 70% finished, but you can tell it's leaves and stuff. This is not finished at all. Can you see the difference? Can you see? I mean, it's starting, but that's not finished at all. So that's why I have two piles here. So always keep in mind that sometimes what they selling you at the store ain't compost. So if you buying that and that's turning into concrete and your roots can't grow through it, that's the issue. Is because it probably was trash to begin with. Let me show y'all this. That stuff you buy from the store, you never see that in it, do you? And I know you're probably going to say, well, it's been in a bag forever. I guarantee if you go to the place where they got it from, you probably won't see that in it. Unless you buying super, super, super high-end compost. Maybe the high-end stuff would have better organic matter in it, but I've gotten to the point where I don't trust none of it. Because these companies, they too quick to lie to you to get $1. So, now let's go over to the garden, and I want to show y'all stuff, because once again, these people are saying don't grow directly in compost, just top dress. And I'm like, what? Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. This container was filled with nothing but compost. Now, yeah, some of it was wood chips that composted down, but that's still organic matter, 100% organic matter. My plant, do they look like they don't have roots? Do they look unhealthy? Have not fed those, but one time I fed those. Let me grab my stuff. Let's go over here. All of these filled with nothing but compost. Now, I will tell you this, because of how much nitrogen is in my compost, I think that is what spurs on the aphid problem that I'm having. But the aphids like it because it's a lot of nitrogen in the plants. That means they have a good root system. You get what I'm saying? Like, all these beds was filled with nothing but compost, biochar, and in the case of these two, a little bit of coconut coir. Composted wood. Like, I'm really trying to understand this person who's giving this advice, talking about don't grow in compost. What are they talking about? And I'm going to ask you this question. Do they stuff look like this? Because the person that said this live in California. They should be gardening year round. Should be. They should be gardening year round. Do they stuff look like this? Do it. And I'm not trying to brag on myself. I'm just saying this is nothing but compost. Nothing but compost. Do they have parsley that look like a bush? That's growing in nothing but compost. So I want y'all to tell me, should I do a video talking about how to make compost? Because I'm about to start a new pile. Should I do a video on that? Would y'all like to see a video on that? And like I said, I don't know where. See, I guess this is the point I'm making. When people say things, always look for the details. Because the devil is in the details. See, people will tell you, it's just like when I work out. People will tell you, oh, you shouldn't do this movement because you could, like you shouldn't overhead press because you can tear your shoulders up. But they're not telling you the devil is in the details. It's not that you shouldn't overhead press. It's that you shouldn't overhead press if your anatomy will not allow you to comfortably overhead press, or if you're not doing the movement properly, or, and I'm just picking that one exercise out of, a million. But like I said, the devil is in the details. When these people tell you this stuff, ask them, wait, you making your own compost? And if you are, what are you composting? Are you buying compost? Is it a hot compost pile? Is it cold? Because I want to mention that my compost pile is cold. I've done hot before, but it's a little too labor intensive for me. So now I just do cold. But y'all let me know, man. This video long enough. I kind of wanted to show that. And another thing I wanted to show, right quick. I know I'm gonna cut this off. Go too much more over 10 minutes. This bed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you count that end and that end, that'll make 8 across. 8 cinder blocks across. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 that way. So 8 by 8 in cinder blocks. And the length from this end of the cinder block to this end is 16 inches. So y'all do the math on that. How many square feet that is. It's more than, this is, because see, if this was 12 inches, so let's pretend, we're going to say 12 by 12. It's not 12 by 12, but let's pretend 12 inches, that's 1 foot, right? So if each one of these was a foot, and let's say we had 12 of them, 12 times 12 is 144, right? Right? Is my math right? So that would be, scratch this part of the video. Anyway, this is a big bed. I don't know exactly how many square feet this is. If I had to guess, it's at least 100. At least 100 square feet. At least. I know it's more than that. But I'm going to say at least because I'd rather be conservative than to be, saying, oh, it's 1,000,000 square feet. So this is at least 100 square feet. I want y'all to tell me, and it's not even too deep. Some people do their beds too deep, and I might raise this and actually do it too deep. But this year it's going to be 1 deep. What was I going to fill this with if I didn't make compost? I'm going to go to the stove and buy how many cubic yards of whatever trash is in them sacks. Because I've gotten them sacks and they full of rocks, they full of sticks, they full of bark mulch, they full of everything but soil, unless you pay $15 a bag. So what was I supposed to do? Go get $15 a bag and fill this? So you're not supposed to grow in compost. What you supposed to grow in if you want to increase your growing space? And I would love, and I'm genuinely asking. I'm not trying to be like slick mouth. I'm genuinely asking what you supposed to do if you're not gonna grow in compost. And these people telling you this, I want you to question their motives. I want you to question their motives, and I want you to question their behavior. Because real talk, the person that said this, their behavior about 3 months ago was real questionable, super questionable. But now they back and supposedly all sweet and kind and nice and know how to act. No, you know how to act because YouTube snatched your money. See, you had to get you a spanking. You had to get you a spanking. YouTube had to spank your bottom, and then you got some act right. And they try to make like, why I'm back on YouTube? No, you back because you need to pay your rent. So you know what I'm saying. You know, YouTube don't pay my bills, so I can say what I want. So, you know, be careful about these people. Be real careful. Because people will give you information and you never know what their ulterior motive is. Because his behavior before, I never knew what his ulterior motive is. I felt like he was out trying to sabotage and hurt people, though. And I'm just being honest. So, do what you want in your garden. I'm going to keep growing in compost. Let me show y'all one more time. Them onion compost. These beets. This whole thing full of compost. I think I'm going to keep growing in compost, y'all. Just saying, y'all. Let me know if y'all want me to do a video on compost. Till next time. I'll see y'all later.